Hello, uranium friends. So, CCJ, we're starting off on the weekly here, and I'm prompted to do this video because what I see is a confluence of indicators that are setting up a table pounding attempt at a trade or an entry, a bullish entry, if you will. So, let's check it out. So we have this weekly chart, right? And I talk about it all the time, and I'm still going to talk about it because not everybody, have seen has followed or seen my videos. But here we go, right? We have these moving averages. Commodities love to trend; they love to ride their moving averages. What has CCJ been doing on the weekly? The red line is the 12 EMA. This pink, brownish, whatever line is the 50-day moving average. CCJ has been riding that up and bouncing off of it for months since late April, early May. Okay, so we've got that. Where are we now? Well, we're at that spot um, where it's at the 12 EMA and this 50-day moving average. I'm zooming in for you so you can see what has happened. Well, yeah, you had the breach and the immediate pullback, the immediate bounce, and it closed above here. Very similar to what we're seeing here, right? So there's your weekly moving average rider that's still intact. Okay. Uh, Example number one. Okay. Example number two, we have this pretty decent long standing trend line that it's respecting as well. Okay. That's Confluence situation number two. Now, something else that we have is called anchored VWAP. Now, uh, here's your first. I don't want to do that one first. I want to do the other one. Where the heck is it? Okay. So anchored VWAP. This is the pull from this last pivot. We're down to the anchored VWAP. It's defining a zone. We get the other one on. That's from the last drawdown pivot. And now we have an anchored VWAP zone where CCJ, where I would start to expect to see a bounce. We got it. We got the bounce. We got the bounce off the trend line. We got the bounce off the moving average rider. We got the bounce off the anchored VWAP. So we're still on the weekly here, okay? So now we look at the Fibonacci. So here we have a Fibonacci retracement tool. And what do we see? Well, we see a bounce right off the 50% retracement area of this run from the last pivot to this top. So on this weekly chart with multiple metrics, we're starting to see a logical place for this to bounce, right? Let's move on over to the volume profile. What do we have here in a volume profile? So, just for a volume profile, right? So you see this little shelf here. Where is this shelf ending up? Well, it's right at the 50% retracement, which is at $40.56, kind of in the area where it bounced, right? So sometimes if you ever notice with the volume profile area, when you zoom in, it's gonna change the data here, right? So now it brings it in, and now you can see a lot more of the recent action. I know that this chart is noisy with all this stuff on here, but we want to get an example. Where did it bounce? Right off this shelf. Okay, so we have a confluence of support in multiple metrics that I use, which tells me it's a good spot, right? And there was a bounce there. Makes sense, right? Move into the daily. What do we see on the daily? I'm going to take these anchored VWAPs off because they're bright and noisy, so we can get a little bit of a better view on what we're talking about. I'm also going to take these fib retracements off. I want to get a little bit more pure of the chart. We know we're in the 50% area, and that's where this is. Okay, so take these fibs off. All right, so here we are. What did we get? Well, we got a bounce on the daily that took out the previous day's high. So what does that say? Well, it says for now, this daily low, this daily higher low is set for now, right? What else does it tell us? Well, it's a double bottom, right? Double bottoms, good support. Fibs, everything's starting to line up. Look at the volume profile right off this volume shelf. Okay. Another check mark in our favor. So let's look. Now I'm going to zoom into the hourly. What did we get on the hourly here? Well, this back test here today, it didn't breach this low. So, and then it took out this high. So now we have an hourly trend change. So the trend has changed in the hourly, which has given us a 4-hour bull flag. And what else has happened? 4-hour 12 EMA that was acting as resistance, it got over it and it's now using it as support. So, in my opinion, and I will be taking this trade tomorrow, I will be entering into this spot. I'm hoping for a morning flush so I can take position. I'm taking a bullish position here. Because there's a lot of things in Confluence that tell me, yeah, this is a great spot. And what is it? It's a low risk play. Uh, I will be stopping out if this double bottom gets breached, which is hopefully this is going to be our weekly low or high. Now, here's the other weekly high or low, rather. Here's the other thing CCJ, for the most part, it gets 5 weeks of consolidation. 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's the pattern with time. Okay, so forget about all of this technical analysis stuff. You know, 5 weeks. CCJ likes to bounce after 5 weeks of consolidation. Does that mean it's off to the races again? Well, no, because we've had our 5 weeks here, got a good bounce, and then it drew down to another level, creating another level. What do I like here? I like that all those factors of that of confluence of support that we got. A quick look at the monthly just gives you another piece of the puzzle here because on the monthly it's just been a rider of this 5 EMA, which is the yellow line. I'm going to zoom in for you and see if we can get a better look at it. Right, so that's the 5 EMA. And yeah, it's holding that as well. So everything points to this being a great spot to take a stab at a swing trade. I can tell you that if I know the behavior of CCJ, it's probably going to want to do one more flush to break this support. And that's what I'll be watching. But I will be taking an entry tomorrow based off of this double bottom. I will likely give it some room. Um, for that flush, I may actually end up deciding to add on that support break, which I do often uh, in this type of market environment that we're in. But that is the table pounder. Otherwise, I'm looking down at this level, which is 39.65, where we have this. We also have the golden pocket and the anchored VWAP. So, there's many ways that I could decide to approach this. And as the individual player of the name, you make your own decisions. There will be some who say, okay, well, I'm working off of this level here from now on. So I'm going to take half here. Maybe I'll take half here and I'll have a stop down below here, whatever. Okay. I just know that I have no problem stopping out and even buying higher if I had to. But this is the table pounder for CCJ for me right now. The double bottom with the confluence of supports and the hourly trend change with the 4-hour bull flag tells me, when people say you can't catch bottoms, this is how you catch a bottom. It might not be the actual bottom, but it's worth taking a stab because for me, it's a very low risk play because I have a defined level. Even if I decide to use this Fibonacci retracement, or even if I decide to go so far as to use maybe $40 as my stop. Any of those things are going to work. It depends on the individual's risk profile. But once again, I'm going to be taking a long swing position in CCJ tomorrow. One more thing I just want to look at is URA because we talked about how this chart is broken and there are some people who say, oh, you're not adjusting for dividends. Well, there's a dividend adjustment. I don't do it because most people don't. Okay, so the chart in its purest form without a dividend adjustment with a gap down, but URA has also shown a little sign of life here, right? So it took out the previous day's high as well. So, you know, does it hold? I don't know, but in technical analysis terms, this higher low is now set. Yesterday's high. What day is it today? Thursday of Wednesday's low of 2661. That is the set higher low for now because this high was breached, was taken out. Okay, so the next thing is there's a move up. Hopefully, that's what we're looking at. Did we get an hourly trend change here? Yeah, we did. So there's your flush, there's your high, there's your higher low. This is all pre-market stuff, so let's just take that out. Let's see what regular trading hours gave you. Yeah, so there's your hourly trend change as well. Again, this is how you can catch, how anybody can catch. Don't say you can't catch a bottom or a top. When you get an hourly trend change, that is your first sign that the tide is turning, and it's here. It's here right now. This is your first sign. You have your hourly trend change. You have your hourly bull flag, which is going to be a 4-hour bull flag, I am sure. Yeah, it's a little, if you just use this candle, it's a 4-hour bull flag and it took out the previous day's high. Those are all good signs. So URA is telling us the same thing that CCJ is telling us, right? So there's a shift. Does this shift hold? Now we need to look for follow through. I'm aggressive as a bull, so I have no problem jumping on this CCJ uh, with this daily double bottom as my stop. Okay, so good luck. Over and out.